What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury's inactivity comments raise concerns for the Anthony Joshua fight. Fury believes inactivity has played a huge part in the recent stoppage defeats for Conor McGregor and Josh Warrington. Wow. Tyson Fury knows all about inactivity. The heavyweight world champion spent 3 years in recess following his career-defining win over Vladimir Klitschko. His battle with drink and drugs is well documented, as is his remarkable recovery and subsequent return to the summit of the sport. But his comeback bout in 2018 bordered on crazy terms as he took on blown-up cruiserweight Safar Safiri. The Swiss-born looked happy just to be involved as he posed for photographs after the weigh-in. So Fury was promptly knocked out inside 4 rounds before Fury moved on to Francisco Pianeta, who offered little more of a threat, but did at least hear the final bell. Now, neither fight will feature on Fury's post-career highlight reel, but they served an important purpose. They allowed Fury to return to the structured training camp and to re-familiarize himself with the routine of fight week. It also allowed him to further finesse his training under a new coach, Ben Davison, and firm up the rest of his team. And so, by the time Fury took on Deontay Wilder in December, he was far better prepared, which makes Fury's comments about recent fighters' inactivity all more interesting in the light of his soon-to-be-confirmed fight with Anthony Joshua. He says Conor McGregor fought in 2016, then he had 2 years out, and then he fought Khabib in 2018, then he had another 2 years out, and then he fought Donald Cerrone in January. Then he had another year out, and then he fought Dustin Poirier. So, inactivity kills the cat, no doubt about it. When one man's been active, fighting, sparring, and in camp, and one man's been on the couch, it's not so good. And following Josh Warrington's shock defeat by Mauricio Lara last week, Fury added, "Tonight, the fight world saw another victim of inactivity in Josh Warrington. COVID has destroyed a lot of careers. You can't beat staying active." Ooh. Okay, well, this is an interesting article because this does serve, and people would look and they really wouldn't have to reach too much, that Tyson Fury's been inactive for damn near over a year. And by the time he fights Anthony Joshua, what would that be? February? No, May or June? Okay, when that fight's supposed to go down. So that would be a year and a half off. One would to think he's saying that for a particular reason. He used examples such as Conor McGregor, Josh Warrington, and of course himself. He had the ample amount of time to come back because he had 2 fights. And that served to be a better aid to him coming back to the spotlight, fighting someone dangerous as Deontay Wilder, which has been fighting and has been active. Okay, so, but he wouldn't have that this particular time. So we're not idiots. You know, if you're looking, you're thinking on why did he say what he said? He said what he said because he may have this, he may be admitting that, hey, maybe I need a tune-up fight. Okay, and if I don't get the tune-up fight, there's a good chance I could be beat. See, that seed has already been planted, brothers and sisters. Okay, because him making those examples of those fierce guys, top guys in their sport or the sport of boxing, Warrington and McGregor, he is in line to say, okay, what's next? What do you mean by what you said? Okay, so you've made a trail of saying these type of guys because they've been beat because they were inactive. Okay, so now there's a flip side to that. That may have something to do with it, but that's not the whole thing. I think Lara would have knocked out Warrington anyway. His punches didn't hurt Lara. Lara ate those punches, and Warrington could not deal with that type of punching power. McGregor, maybe he has a little bit because he was inactive, but I think a lot of his problem is his lifestyle. Okay, so we can't over admit that Mr. Proper 12 is a guy that does live life high on the horse. Okay, yeah, he gets into shape, and then he beats himself up during a put together training camp. But how much really does he do? How much focus does Conor McGregor really have versus Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury, I see Tyson Fury with a lot of focus and dedication and hard work. And if anything, I don't even think it would be inactivity. I think it would be overtraining. Okay, because Tyson Fury needs a type of training regimen to satisfy or complete his brain, okay, to keep the balance where it needs to be. Because if not, the endorphins can't be released in his body, and he might get depressed again and might go back to drugs and drinking and alcohol and booze and women and all that stuff. So that may be one of the problems with Tyson Fury. But it does not look good for him mentioning those guys, because only one could reflect himself. You know what I'm saying? You don't see, here's the thing. You have to clarify comments that you make. Okay, and you have to assure everyone, the lovers and the haters, what you mean. See, Tyson Fury saying, well, hey, these guys, got beat to inactivity, and we already know you ain't fought in damn near a year. What is that trying to tell us about you? Counterpunch. Okay, that means you're trying to put yourself in that same category that those guys were in. That's what you're trying to do. And see, in hindsight, if he gets beat by Anthony Joshua, okay, this has already been documented. This is the world of media, people. So the world of media can tell you that, hey, he already said this. This might be a scapegoat. It doesn't look good because he didn't clarify or specify or guarantee that that won't happen to me. Okay? So I don't like it. I don't like it because a lot of people are going to look for that. And the haters are going to tear this apart. But guess what? He gave them ample opportunity to do so. Okay? So him saying that, hey, if he does lose and this does come up, okay? See, here's the thing. He didn't specify like, hey, it's not going to be me. But normally fighters that are inactive get beat, but it won't be me. Okay? And again, these are all mind games too, though. You have to understand the mind of Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury walked into the arena, okay, when Conor McGregor fought Cowboy Cerrone limping, like something was wrong with him. This may be a whole nother thing and another way out of what he's trying to do. He's trying to throw people a damn curveball by saying, oh, you know what? I might lose the inactivity, to give it some type of suspense or drama, or some type of challenge, okay? Some kind of obstacle that may be in his way to stop him from fighting the way he's supposed to fight against Anthony Joshua. Okay, so he's not fooling me with it. But like I said, it cuts both ways, though. See, if he loses, he could always use it, right? But if he wins, he could always use it. You see what I'm saying? So look, it's a win-win for Tyson Fury. He knows what he's doing. He's either planting a seed, either it's going to grow green or it's going to grow brown. All right? But even though that tree will sprout eventually, because he already planted the seed to that ground. But anyway, do you guys tell me what you think Tyson Fury meant by this particular statement about these guys and not omitting himself? Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.